Hey everybody, it's April the 2nd. I'm back on the AT. I just walked down from Boots Off Hostel where I checked in. It's about 7:30ish in the morning. So got about 20 miles to do today. It's 2023. I figured I better start saying the year because I haven't been able to do this for at least a year. So it's going to take me forever to finish. But we're going to go ahead and get started for this trip. I think it's like 85 miles, maybe 90 miles. Some of the highlights will be going into Virginia and then Grayson Highlands, where we get to pet some ponies, maybe, hopefully. It's going to be the first couple days are going to be really nice. And then it's supposed to get a little bit rainy later on in the week. I think that's about it. Oh, it's definitely going to be more crowded this time. That will be a huge difference than the last 27 days. Today is day 28, by the way. There was already more hikers in the breakfast area at Boots Off Hostel than typically what I see maybe in a whole week. So definitely will be different. So here is where I came off of last time. And here's the stop sign. Hopefully my rock is still here. We'll see. Oh, let's see. Oh no. It might be gone. Looks like it is. Thought for sure that thing would hold there. Found it. It was just buried under some sediment. So get that cleaned up and we'll put it in our pocket and head on down the trail.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
All right, so 11:30, about 9.25 miles in. This is Van de Venter Shelter, maybe. We'll stop here and have some lunch. I've definitely had lunch at worse places.
Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before.
All right, on mile marker 446 of the AT is a monument dedicated to this dude. On my app, everybody calls him Uncle Nick, and really doesn't give a lot of information about it. Kind of morbid and sad inscription.
There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after
All right, wrapping up day number 28, August the 2nd of 2023. No, sorry, April the 2nd of 2023. 20.5 miles today, going from Boots Off Hostel to Switchback Creek Campground, which is where I am now. Nice little spot, warm showers. The owner, I guess, gave me a tour of his shop. He has kind of a woodworking shop, and he's also a former transmission guru, so he's got all of the workings for that as well. Super cool guy, nice guy. There's another couple people here, so I'm gonna go join them out by the fire. Tomorrow's my longest day, probably 22 miles, I think it is, maybe 21 and a half. So we'll knock that out and see where that leaves us. That'll get us into Virginia and to Damascus. So small little issue with my water filter today. It's clogged up, so I'm hoping I can remedy that in Damascus, either buy a new one or I talked to a couple other hikers today, and they said you can use a cap and kind of blow it out that way. So it's not as crowded, at least that I didn't see today, as I thought it would be. There was a total of like 3 people that passed me going the same direction I was, and then coming southbound was more like 10 or so, but that's probably pretty normal on a Sunday, as beautiful as it was. Got my first trail magic. There was a lady emoji that picture of. She was set up from where I caught my shuttle to this hostel with all kinds of goodies in her trunk. So super, super sweet lady. I appreciate that. That's really about it that I can think of. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and a special good night to LJ and LB, who's new to kind of following this adventure with me. So we'll see everyone tomorrow. All right, April 3rd, day 29, 21 miles to Damascus. It's going to be my longest day, but the terrain looks to be fairly easy, or relatively speaking, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. And ta-da! See you, Tennessee. Hello, Virginia. 3 states down, 10 to go.
Anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads.
All right, day 29. That's the hostel that I'm staying at tonight in Damascus. 21.6 miles, I believe, is what I had figured for today. Pretty boring day trail-wise, like there wasn't a whole lot to see. Damascus is a pretty cool little town. You saw the diner there. Reminds me a little bit of Hot Springs. I've got some dessert, which consists of milk and some chocolate-covered marshmallow Easter eggs. I'll have that here in a little while, but mainly just going to go rest and hang out. There's only one other person there with me tonight. It's kind of a shared space. He seems a little different, so I'm probably not going to go in until closer to lights out. So anyway, see you tomorrow. All right, good morning. It's April 4th, day 30. It's about 7:30, just leaving the town of Damascus. There's a hostel there that I heard about called Crazy Larry's. I chose to stay elsewhere. I got a really tough climb to start with, and then should be okay after that. My left shin is killing me, so I'm hoping it loosens up. And on a positive note, I was able to get my filter fixed, so I should have water today. Damascus was a super cool town, very, very friendly towards hikers. Everybody I talked to was, "Welcome to Damascus," and "What can we get you? What do you need?" So I would definitely like to visit this place again if I was in the general area. So.
And after all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me.
right, checking in. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I just left Lost Mountain Shelter, which is about 16 miles from Damascus. That was the original stopping point, but it's only about 4:30. Legs feel pretty good, so we're going to keep on trucking. That is where I've got to go. I may not make it there tonight, but I'll at least get a little bit closer to make, and then we can start our assault up at tomorrow.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do.
All right, day 30 is in the books. April 4th of 2023. Did about 21 miles today from Damascus to Buzzard Rocks. I was only gonna do about 15 to a shelter, but it was just too early in the day, and wanted to get that climb out of the way, and I'm kind of glad I did based on the sunset that you saw. It is very windy. I've got this tent anchored down as best I can with as many rocks as I could find, so we'll see how the night goes. Maybe it could be a disaster. I don't know how many I'll do tomorrow. Just have to kind of look at the map and the terrain and go from there. So, but super cool little spot. I hope all goes well. I always get a little bit nervous camping out right on top of a bald area. You just never know what's going to happen. So we'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.